Welcome to the Rob and Kale Show. Rob Sanders.
His own mother slapped the stork that delivered him.
And Kale Hall.
He doesn't deserve to be in this business. He deserves to have been blackballed.
The Rob and Kale Podcast.
And welcome in to the Rob and Kale Podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. And here we go. Of course, I want to welcome also in my partner in the upstate. He is known as Carolina Jackpot. He is Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, brother?
Hey, I'm glad to be here Sunday night and hit the ground running today, and we haven't let up. It's great to be here. Looking forward to some draft talk and whatever other goodies we can get into. I know it's other than the draft, it's kind of a dead period for sports that we like to discuss here on the program. So
we can find stuff to talk about. We're running a little late this evening. Sorry about that. Had some things we had to deal with. No big deal. Nobody's dying. We just run a little late tonight. So this is like
I had to work. So I mean, I was out doing God's work, working. I had to close out my store tonight, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, this is almost like retro version of the show where we were going at 10:30. Normally we would start at 10:30. Now
10:30 used to be 10:30.
Yeah, now we backed up to 9:30, which is good, and it's anyway, kind of veered off there a little bit, but. We appreciate the folks that are joining us this evening. Thank you for the person that liked the show over there on Facebook. I appreciate that. If you can do the same thing on YouTube when you watch this evening, a little bit of likes here help and, help support the show. By the way, we have a couple of sponsors. We'll knock these out really quick here. Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. You can go by, play some retro video games, all kinds of good stuff at Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia. Also, we have DNC Trucking and Transport, the No Spin Zone with Dennis Wilson. Of course, I say No Spin Zone. We've ditched that title. It's Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot, as Jackpot is going to state some facts this evening for us. Jackpot, read away, sir.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. It's been 2,340 days since my team has beaten Clemson on the football field. Did you know that Clemson won a national title before my Gamecocks won a bowl game? I hear in the room that is more of a home run option to be a wide receiver 4 at Clemson than to be a wide receiver 1 in the ghetto on Bluff Road. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Yeah, all facts there. You can be wide receiver 4 at Clemson, and that's better than being wide receiver 1 at South Carolina if we go by the NFL draft. I'm just saying. Your thoughts on that, Kale?
Well, I mean, you don't win all those national championships with nothing, I guess.
Well, I was going to give
got some talent over there. I mean, I really don't. I never really saw much from there. I mean, Cornell Powell.
Yeah,
but apparently he's got.
I can give you I think the reason that Shi Smith didn't go higher in the draft, Shi Smith is probably a better wide receiver than Cornell Powell, but Shi Smith had off the field issues. And there were things like, I remember the Ole Miss game last year, and Jackpot, you lost your mind with this too, where he scored a touchdown, then lost his mind and was running down the field like it was the first time he'd ever done it. Got the extra penalty or whatever the hell it was. I think pros see that, and when they see that, it's like, not so much.
Yeah, but what about, Cornell Powell got up in the camera there on NBC after he scored a touchdown at Notre Dame, cursed on live television. They're in front of God. They're in front of touchdown Jesus, and everybody dropped a big old touchdown. And I mean, I realize that's what kids do anyway, but. I mean, Clemson's supposed to be the bastion of Christianity, supposed to be the mecca of all that's good in the world. Where where we don't lock our doors and the children can frolic and play out in the the grass, the lush green grass outside Death Valley, and here we are dropping big old F-bombs on national television in front of the good Lord and everybody else.
I mean, he missed the baptism pool at the end of practice that day. Don't get upset, Jackpot.
Well, I mean, they couldn't pack it up and take it to Notre Dame with them. That's why.
I tell you what, man. I don't. They actually, I've heard they actually have baptism pools. I've heard that, and it's like not a joke. I've heard that they have them in like summer practice or whatever.
I've seen there's images of it.
Okay, so I'm not. So yeah, you put that out. It shows that I'm not stupid. I mean,
it's like an old Duncan. It looked like I'm not making fun.
Like a baby pool, right?
Huh?
Like a baby pool type thing, or like a clown.
What I saw looked like an old wash tub. It was like high on the sides, and
yeah,
I think that was when they dunked Sammy Watkins in it, maybe.
Ugh. Anyway, some funny stuff there. Some comments from the chat room. How about that Gamecock baseball team? Look, if you are a fan of South Carolina or the Atlanta Braves as far as baseball goes this weekend, it was not a good weekend. I am of the opinion, Jackpot, that baseball this weekend was spun off of its axis. And I'll tell you why. The Clemson baseball team swept the 7th-ranked Louisville team at home. This is a Clemson baseball team that is pretty shitty, and yet they managed to get the sweep. If you would have told me that the Gamecocks weren't going to win one game against Ole Piss and the Braves weren't going to get one game against Toronto, I would have laughed at you hysterically. Just saying. What a mess.
I wouldn't have. I mean, anything is possible. I mean, we've
kind of shown up.
I don't know. The Gamecock baseball team to me is just, I don't know. They're a little bit overrated to me, I think. I mean, we've won a couple series here and there. I mean, which is hats off to Coach Kingston and crew for doing that. What was it, just 2 years ago? I don't think they won a goddamn series.
They didn't win a conference series. Yeah,
in the SEC. So I mean, they're already miles above that. Swept Florida at home, probably shouldn't have done that. That was probably playing out of their minds. So it's a bit of a reality check. I just don't think that they don't perform that well against the really good teams we play. And he's swept by Texas, lost 2 or 3 to Vanderbilt, lost 2 or 3 to Arkansas in bad fashion, and they don't really step up to the plate against. I mean, you could kind of say, well, they did take the series at Georgia. I guess that was good, but I mean, Georgia's not a juggernaut or anything. I mean, don't say that to Clemson fan, man, but just don't play that well against higher quality competition. That's my beef with them.
Yeah, and Mark Kingston is an analytics guy, and he's one of those guys where he relies heavily on that computer. I think the best coaches are the coaches that will look at the computer and then still use their gut. And I've interviewed several junior college coaches in the state of South Carolina that have told me off the record that, which means I can't tell you which junior college coaches they are, but off the record, they've said essentially the same thing. The guy relies too much on the analytics, and if the analytics hit, that's when they play well, which is what you see when they play Florida and teams like that. But if they're off a little bit, then not so much. And that's why you see an elevated with the strikeouts, according to these coaches. Now they're coaching junior college baseball. They know more about baseball.
So you're saying that he likes to study more along the lines of 35% of the time when there's a runner on third base and this guy's going to bunt and shit like that.
Right. Yeah. And if a guy, this guy hits well in the later innings, and if you have to go lefty with this pitcher and shit like that from what the computer tells him over time.
Why doesn't he have someone doing that for him, and then he concentrate on the nuts and bolts of the game?
I don't know. I mean, and to be honest, when the analytics work, you can look really good. A perfect example of that is the Oakland Athletics. You've seen the movie Moneyball, where they did a whole team on just analytics and everything else, and it worked in the regular season. But when you get to the playoffs, when it's nut cutting time, a lot of the times those numbers fall off, and you don't get what you want. So, it's.
This is off subject right now, but I'm watching a replay, I guess it is, of the end of the Minnesota Gold versus Maroon spring game.
Here, talk for a minute. I got to flirt with my wife.
And you can look at their stadium here. It's rather new. I think it's only a few years old that they've been playing the stadium. But my gosh, what a nice venue to watch a football game. It's not too big. Not too small. It's right in downtown Minneapolis. I'm just. It's like they went from the outhouse to the penthouse. They were playing in that old fucking dome. That
shithole.
That roof caved in half the time. You remember when I played baseball there? The outfield fence looked like a big giant Glad trash bag. That's what they said. It looked like the fucking trash bag out there in the outfield. Balls would get lost up in the ceiling.
It looked like you're hitting into a cloud, right? Basically.
Yeah, what's that called? What was that? The Kingdome?
The Hubert Humphrey Metrodome.
The Metrodome. That's right. The Kingdome was in Seattle. That's right.
The only reason why I know that, I'm not some kind of idiot baseball savant. I just remember the Braves playing there in the World Series, and fuck that building forever. That's how I'm still hurt about that from when I was a kid. I mean, I was 12 years old when the Braves played in the World Series there, and it still hurts my heart.
Yes, I remember that one. I watched that game. What was it, Game 6 or the walk-off home run? They were like, touch them all, Kirby.
No, it was Game 7. It was Game 7 where Jack Morris and it was Jack Morris. The Game 7 was the final in that series, if I remember correctly. Jack Morris going up against John Smoltz. They went back and forth. I think it went extra innings, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I have to look
but Kirby Puckett hit a walk-off home run in Game 6, I think it was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Touch them all, Kirby Puckett.
Yeah, Kirby Puckett can still eat a bag of dicks for all that.
That bastard. The 93, they were in the World Series 93 against the Blue Jays, and that's when Joe Carter hit a walk-off home run to win the thing, I believe. No, it was 92. It was 93. They played the Phillies, and they lost in the NLCS.
Yeah. Anyway, that still hurts my heart. Jackpot's making me feel bad this Sunday evening. We're talking about
struck out in that one 93. I can't remember who it was that struck out by Mitch Wild Thing Williams. You remember him?
Yeah, he had the mullet. He had the mullet, like he had the Cale Hall style mullet, because I'm sure you had that mullet back in the day. Did you have a mullet like that?
He did.
Party in the back.
Yeah, he had the Billy Ray Cyrus cut.
I thought that was you. Did you have hair like that, Jackpot?
I had a mullet when I was in like 6th grade. It wasn't very long, but I mean, I had a mullet.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah, that hurts my heart a little bit. Let's talk about the draft for just a minute here. I mean, we had the baseball stuff kind of flat. What?
I said I had mullets, kind of like my dick. It wasn't real long, but it was there.
It did the job.
Fur coat.
Button on a fur coat. That's funny. Funny. All right. Well, the NFL draft, I was looking at South Carolina players taken. And the first one, of course, was J.C. Horn. There were a lot of there were a lot of folks that were upset with the Carolina Panthers. Somebody even put on in their Facebook feed that follows me that they were selling their tickets. They were selling their season tickets because they were tired of the Panthers not drafting any offense and not looking forward to having some good offense or whatever. And I was like, what the hell? I mean, J.C. Horn was considered by some the number 1 defensive player in the draft, and you got that at number 8. What the hell do you want?
Yeah, their defense was fucking horrible last year.
Exactly.
I mean,
I wasn't buying that at all. Doesn't make any sense. So let me see here. I'm getting the rest of the South Carolina players that were drafted. I've got the whole list here in my notes that I studiously put together earlier. Okay, yeah. So J.C. Horn was in the first round, and then you had in round 3, Ernest Jones goes to the Los Angeles Rams.
That kind of surprised me
that he was drafted ahead of Mukwonmu.
Surprised me that he went that early. I never thought he was that damn good.
Yeah, well, Coach Eric Wilson said on my Fox Sports show, and I mean, I trust him. He's coached all over the country, that Ernest Jones was the only linebacker that South Carolina had that was of SEC caliber, but he was an average linebacker at best. So
I thought that whole linebacking core was a big bag of shit, but
big bag of shit.
That would include Ernest. But you know,
yeah.
I mean, I guess they know better than I do. I know Sherrod Green's not that good. I don't. Yeah, I'm scared, sir. Scared for the future. So I'm scared for this year anyway of what's going to happen. I think South Carolina this year, we win ball games. We're going to have to win like 38-31 ball games, 45-38 ball games, even against some of the lower level teams on the schedule, like a Tennessee.
I disagree with you on that. I think if you're going to win games, it's going to be like 27-23, and it's going to be because you control the clock.
We ain't gonna hold anybody to 23 points. I don't think.
You will if you you run the ball and just have 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, and just move up and down the field like that and keep the offense off the field.
You ain't gonna be able. Them running backs we got, those fellas ain't gonna be able. You're not gonna just hold them to 4 yards a carry. I mean, that's not 14 maybe. I see a lot of. They're gonna break a lot
tonight, aren't you?
I'm just interested to see what Marshawn Lloyd can do. I mean, we don't really know what he can do on a college field. I mean, my God, I mean, the guy's high school tape, I mean, obviously it's tremendous, but how's he going to look? Is he going to be fully recovered from this injury? The mastermind of sports reporting and knowledge here in the upstate, and you know who that would be, Mr. Deptula, as the type of injury that he had and the type of surgery he had normally takes 18 months to recover from.
Shut up. No, I'm just, God.
Don't shoot the messenger, man. Walt said it.
I mean, but you said it.
It has to have validity. Walt said it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Oh, God. I get frustrated when I hear radio hosts, and I'm a radio host too, but when you hear radio hosts put out something like that, it's like, the fuck did you go to medical school? Like whenever I put something on, and I was trained by some folks who've done a lot of sports stuff. You go, when it comes to the medical end, you go with what a doctor says, the doctor that did the surgery, or what the athletics department at the university says, or what the player says. That's what you go with. You don't go by, hey, I'm a doctor and I performed this surgery and I had one running back that it took him 18 months to get better, because then you're going to have dopes that put out there, well, I heard it takes 18 months to get better.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of variables there. I mean, Billy Bob may take a less amount of time to get back from that ACL tear than Bobby Joe. I mean, it's just, it depends on the individual.
I'm not buying that at all. But, yeah, the other picks for South Carolina were 6-round picks. And by the way, Kevin Harris averaged 6.2 yards a carry last year. So my idea of 4, 3, and 3 is not valid. Israel Mukwonmu goes in the 6th round, 63rd or 43rd pick in there with the Dallas Cowboys. I think Mukwonmu is going to be a safety in the NFL, and I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I think that's a good pick for them in the 6th round, to be honest with you. And then, of course, Shi Smith going to the Panthers in the 6th round at pick number 20 there. Obviously pretty good there as well.
Yeah.
For the Panthers, because they need receivers, man. They got to have somebody else to catch the ball from Darnold up there. I mean, it can't just be Christian McCaffrey all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. They got to bolster that offense up. I mean, they got the coaching. The coaching staff's already in place. Now they need the horses, and they're getting that with him. I mean, I brought Lee over on YouTube. Says Colin Hill fitting to challenge Joe the Ho Burrow. Would you like to elaborate on that one a little bit?
Colin Hill was signed with the Bengals. Was he signed or did he? I think he didn't sign. Wasn't drafted. I think he was
undrafted free agent.
Right, Colin Hill and Adam Prentice, who, by the way, everybody was talking about Adam Prentice last year. We got a fucking fullback. Yeah, that fullback. I laughed so hard with all that. Oh my God. So Colin Hill. And they, according to what I'm reading here, he lands an NFL opportunity. He will play for the Cincinnati Bengals as an undrafted free agent.
That's ridiculous. That guy was an absolute hot bag of shit. What could he possibly contribute to an NFL team? They're going to put it out there in a practice jersey and let him beat him up for all of mini camp, and I mean, what the fuck? Let the first string defense tee off on that motherfucker.
I don't know. How do you sign a guy that's that has literally, I think he's had double ACL surgeries on both knees.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not mocking the guy. I'm just saying, from a medical standpoint, how can you possibly draft a guy that's had double ACL surgeries on both? It
doesn't make sense. Why would you take a chance? Why would you fork out money for someone?
I'm sure it won't cost them much, but I mean, they may be trying to get themselves into a spot where they can, possibly have a backup quarterback, which they're going to need, because these dum-dums with Cincinnati, they went and they drafted the wide receiver from LSU, and it was like they need a fucking tackle so they can protect Joe Burrow so his knee doesn't get turned into a question mark again, so he doesn't get Colin Hill where he has another fucking knee surgery. Now let's just get this wide receiver that we'll have a reunited unit here of all this LSU
I think it was probably the draft. I mean, the pick of the undrafted free agency. It was probably a little bit of reverse psychology. They're probably pushing Joe Big Dick Burrow to be his best, because he knows that, I mean, an athlete such as a Colin Hill, if on his game long enough, could easily take over that starting position. So
I don't know if I'm buying all that.
That's why they brought him in. Reverse psychology.
Maybe they're just fucking stupid up in Cincinnati. I'm starting to believe that. Anyway, that was that for the draft for South Carolina. Clemson. We'll look at Clemson's players really quick, and then there was a run on Georgia players too, and we'll get into that in a minute. But Clemson had, of course, Trevor Lawrence at 1, Travis Etienne at 2. A dumb move, by the way, for Clemson fans are at the same inkling with that the LSU fans were, where all the LSU fans are like, "Oh, look at us. We have our 2 guys going up there. They're going to dominate." And all the Clemson fans are like, "Yeah, we're now Jacksonville Jaguar fans because they got Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne." It's like Jacksonville has a running back, James Robinson, who was an undrafted free agent last year that got 1,100 yards on the ground, 300 yards through the air, caught 40 passes. They're paying him an unrestricted free agent contract. they've got him, and yet they're going to draft Travis Etienne and expect him to be essentially the same thing. Way to go. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm like, oh, great. I mean, our quarterbacks got butchered last year too because they don't have an offensive line. Let's just get another running back. That's what we need. We already got one of those. I'd like to have two of them though, because two is better than one. Why not?
Who's their starting running back? Is it
for Jacksonville? Is James Robinson was his name? Undrafted free agent. 1,400 total yards last year.
There you go.
Fifth in the NFL in yards from in rushing yards. But no. We got a top 5 running back. Let's just draft another one in the first round. Fuck, idiots. And Clemson fans, when I put that out there, they get mad as fuck. The LSU people are mad as fuck at me too, but you have to have people to block for your quarterback.
I
or your
think they mad at you, don't they?
I don't care. My own Clemson fan base hates me. It's funny. Like I've literally been told by several people, if you come to a Clemson game, don't stop by our tailgate. I don't like you. I've had that so many times.
Oh, God.
It's fucking true.
And on the flip side, the thing about it is, a lot of the Clemson fan base likes Carolina Jackpot.
That's what I'm saying. Jackpot would be better off at a Clemson tailgate than I would be. And I'm running up there with my Clemson Tiger Paw.
But I don't have South Carolina fans who dislike me either. I mean, maybe some do. There's a couple that I don't get along with over there on the Facebook groups because there's fucking douchebags. There's some that were like, especially some of the Will Muschamp and / Frank Martin cocksuckers. Whenever I've spoken out about my displeasure with the head coaching in those two sports and the way the program was headed, they didn't want to hear it, but I let them hear it.
Yeah,
because
that's true. I don't get all that, but there is a segment of folks that are maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too much of a dickhead and I got to be a better person. I'm working on it. Jackpot could run for mayor and probably get elected. I believe that. Amari Rogers drafted in the 3rd round. I'm sorry, Jackson Carman. He was the guard that or the offensive lineman the Cincinnati Bengals did pick up in the 2nd round. There was Amari Rogers in the 3rd round and Cornell Powell in the 5th round. So there's that. Best actually likes me most of the time. Thank you.
Carmen was a big-bodied tackle that I would have expected, after like his sophomore season, I would have expected he would have been one that would have gone higher in the drafts. Did he? I don't know that he ever really fulfilled his potential at Clemson. He wasn't I think
he was wanted by everybody. He was the top offensive lineman in his class, and he lived right down the street from Ohio State and told them to go to hell. And everybody was like, oh, this is a great thing. And then all of a sudden, yeah, not so much. Not so much, man. I mean, I wonder if it was an issue with weight. He had too many biscuits,
Yeah, Josh Belt syndrome.
Maybe. Maybe.
What was the other kid that was the 4-year starter at tackle there?
Cervanka?
Mitch Hyatt, was that his name?
Yeah. Mitch Hyatt was drafted by the Cowboys in the 6th round, but he didn't really pan out. So
he's out.
Yeah, I think so. I have to do some research on that.
Surprising.
Justin Sally says Cade Cervanka got an undrafted free agent deal with Chicago. So yeah, there you go with that. I wanted to go with the Georgia Bulldogs here, and Georgia had 1, 2.
Oh God! I mean, they have drafted 19.
That's what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys drafted by my numbers here. Wow. That is a shit ton of guys drafted. I mean, you got 9 guys drafted in the pros. That's impressive as hell. How many SEC titles did those 9 guys get? I wonder.
It has to be about 2 or 3.
I would think at least 2. I mean, you got 9 guys drafted. I mean, shit. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, They got to have tons of that. I mean, they should have one national title, you would think, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't they?
Well, not this year. By the way, if you look back to last year, Georgia had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys drafted last year. Oh, they got nothing. Imagine that. The wheels keep spinning though for Alabama. They had tons of folks that ended up getting their stuff together. So Alabama's the elite when it comes to that kind of thing.
They're just showing some draft day stuff up here with college coaches watching some of their kids drafted. There was Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern. Oh, who's that? Oh, that was Clemson's daddy, Ryan Day.
Anyway.
Dabo's daddy.
I mean, Ryan Day's 1-1 against Clemson, but okay. Whatever you got to go with there, Jackpot. By the way, I wanted to throw this out there and get some folks' thoughts on this at 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. There's talk of playoff expansion, Jackpot, and they're talking about either 8 teams, 12 teams, or 16 teams. ESPN's analyst said that it's more and more looking like 12 teams. I've had a different look at that, but what do you think about expansion, and how many teams do you want, Jackpot? If you were,
I think 8 is a gracious plenty. If you can finish in the top 8, I think that'll include your core top 4, and it would also you eat every one of your Power 5 conference champions included in there, and then 3 at-large teams. I mean, I think it's 2 at-large teams in Notre Dame. I think because they're getting in if they're 8-3, but I think that would be a gracious plenty. I think more than that, I really think you water it down.
I agree with you on that, but here's my thing. I'm good with 8 if the 8 are exactly what you said. We have the 5 conference champions. So whoever wins your conference championship game, which, by the way, makes those conference championship games valuable. Help me with that word, Jack.
Valuable.
Thank you. So winning that conference championship game means something now. So, yes. So you win the conference championship, you get in. Now, the other 3 bids, I want to make sure that we put it out there that set one up where it goes to one of the G5 schools. So whoever is considered the best G5 school gets in regardless. So then that way we're expanding it out and we're giving the little guy a chance, giving us a chance for a Cinderella type thing. Okay. Now the other 2, I want to make sure that you can have 2 teams from any conference that are in there, but not 3. Now, the reason that I want that is because I don't want the SEC jerk-offs that are down there in Birmingham with their Alabama smoking jackets and their Nick Saban lower back tattoos telling us that a 9-2 Kentucky team is better than everyone else and they should get in all the time, but we need our other 2 teams that are in there as well. I don't want that, okay? You can have 2 teams from a conference, and that's it. Now, if they're gonna dick around and they're gonna say, "Oh, well, we should have this and that," no, it's just gonna be silly and that's stupid. Now, the people that are on the road for saying, "Hey, we want 12 or 16," it's completely watered down, and it's not worth a damn. And nobody wants to see those games anyway. Of value, thank you, Beth. Appreciate that. Jerome says he's going to lobby for the BCS. Yeah, the BCS ended up benefiting the Big 12 more than you could sit here and say, okay, it was an SEC type thing, but the Big 12 ended up getting a lot of teams in the BCS. So I don't know. I'm just in the camp of expansion. Just slow down a little bit. Slow down with the let's have 12 teams. Ugh.
Yeah, they're going to water the product down a lot. They do that.
All right, 803-470-2905. You can call in and join the show right now if you want to talk about expansion, if you want to talk about the Gamecock baseball team and how they shit the bed at Ole Miss, which, by the way, we are tomorrow will be a week away from, and I didn't know this till the other day, Jackpot. You probably knew this. We're going to find out the regional sites a week from tomorrow, and there's still 3 weeks left to play. And they're doing that because it's a COVID year.
Yeah, it's a COVID year, by God.
Yeah, you got to build all the bullshit that comes with it into the mix for all that. So South Carolina may have played themselves out of being a regional host.
Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? So they can make sure that the regional sites are appropriately socially distanced cleaning. And
no, there's a set of mandates that the NCAA has, including, of course, Joe Healy from Baseball America told me this. They have to build basically a COVID testing center there where everybody gets tested every day.
So I got to build a COVID shed.
COVID.
Why don't they just use the fucking bathroom?
I don't know. I mean, that's just what he said. He said it's sort of like a COVID site where you can everybody gets tested, etc. It's just
not
the
like
way
that bathroom I was talking about, but not on Twitter though.
Oh yeah, follow Jackpot on Twitter. It was @Hall_Kale.
It was fucking brutal, and it was right before we closed. And I went back there. We've got one bathroom that's open, and it's like a unisex deal. You have to lock the door when you go in there. And we have a lot of Hispanic customers, so we have the sign out there. Make sure you lock the door when you go inside in Espanol as well. And I went in there, and last stall, we got 3. Last stall, somebody's dry. It wasn't like they didn't take a hot, steamy shit and leave it for everybody. I mean, it looked more. It was smaller. It was maybe like a kid did it. But still, you think that same kid takes a shit at home and doesn't flush it? Come on. The hot, steamy one, the huge one, that has happened too also. But really low class and lazy.
Well, there's that. But anyway, we'll take calls this evening, not on poo, but on everything else, 803-470-2905. They may have played themselves out of a regional with that sweet ad. But
Clemson only hosting a regional.
Get the fuck out of here. Why are you saying things like that? Clemson just broke 500 this weekend. That's a shitty thing.
They had a losing record. I'm not trolling here.
They had a losing record going into the weekend with Louisville at this point of the season. So yeah. They're not very fucking good, Jackpot. They're not very fucking good.
So can we maybe say the series sweep over Louisville was a fluke?
Yes, sir. That is a prime example of a fluke. Prime example. So yeah, when you have that is an example of a fluke. Justin says
Brock Lee says to clean an old lady's bed that she had just shit all over. You know how you clean that bed up? You push it in the damn dumpster and get a new bed.
Actually, I'm looking at Clemson's record now. They're 21-18, Jackpot. They're 15-12 in conference play. Get the fuck out of here.
15-12 huh?
They're 15-12 in conference play, which is hilarious to me. So wow. Everybody and their brother has them on the outside looking in. When they redo their rankings and everything for tomorrow, I think is when the new projections will come out. Clemson will probably be projected to be in the tournament, but as of right now, not so much.
They'll probably be a 4 seed, 3 or 4.
Yeah, probably the worst 4 seed.
Probably a 3 though. I mean, the 4 seeds are reserved for teams like Liberty and Dayton and
teams like that.
Valpo.
Here's the other thing with that seeding thing. As far as host sites, this is the other thing. When you're awarded a host site, let's say that you're the 1 seed in your site, right? And you don't make the regional or whatever. They don't do the rebids for the super regional. So let's say that East Carolina, I don't know how great their season's going, but let's say East Carolina and South Carolina play in opposing regionals, but neither one of them gets there. One of those teams has to host the super regional, regardless of if their team's playing or not, because of the whole COVID thing.
Okay, I got you.
COVID year. It's a COVID year.
So out of the 4 teams, they basically pick a super regional site beforehand.
Well, it'll be at, like, if you have like Columbia and Greenville as your 2 regional sites, the super regional site will either be Columbia or Greenville, regardless of what team is in it. So 2 of those 8 teams will be playing in either Columbia or Greenville, theoretically, if all that works out. What a mess that is. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's calling on the phone here. All right, 803-470-2905. Give us a call. We'll take your call this evening here on the Rob Kale Show. If you would like to join us this evening before we get out of here. But yeah, that's interesting too on the baseball. So,
I can't believe that they just like fucking destroyed minor league baseball, like all the leagues, and I mean they just like totally done away with the Southern League and the
Sally League and everything else. Yeah,
it's all gone. I mean, is this permanent? I don't.
Yeah, I mean it is, and their logic behind it is that it cuts down on the travel on some of these teams. So it's like
the travel. The Greenville Drive is lumped in the reach or whatever you call this division with the team from Brooklyn.
Are they?
Yes, the Brooklyn Cyclones. They play at a park. It's on Coney Island.
Well, here's the interesting thing about that.
They're there with the Jersey Shore, like they're called like the Jersey Shore Blue Wave or something like that.
Jesus, I did not know that. Well, I had the voice of the Fireflies come in on my show the other day, and he was telling me that like Columbia will play like a bunch of their games will be against Augusta. And hold on, I'm just gonna. They're a low affiliate for the Royals now, but let me look at their schedule here because it's kind of interesting. The majority of their games are against the Augusta Dream Jackets, the Charleston River Dogs, and it's like 3 other teams. But I mean, it's like 4 teams basically. But you know, I didn't know that fucking Greenville's got to go to damn fucking Brooklyn. Jesus.
Here's the teams the Greenville Drive has. Here are the teams they play. Bowling Green, that's in Kentucky, by the way, not Urban Meyer's Bowling Green. Brooklyn, Asheville, Rome. That's a damn stretch, isn't it? Rome, Georgia, to Brooklyn, New York. That's 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. Winston-Salem, the Winston-Salem Dash, who I don't think was in their league previously. Hickory, Greensboro, Aberdeen, where I think that's in Maryland, maybe. Right. See if there's anything different popping up here. And no, that's about it. That's the only teams in the league. So it's kind of weird.
They were telling me that it was because of travel, but I guess not. What about?
I don't see. I might be wrong here. I don't see where the drive. Okay, the schedule goes all the way into September. I don't see where they are going to Brooklyn. Brooklyn comes here, but I don't see where the drive goes to Brooklyn.
Are they still a Red Sox affiliate, or did?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know some teams change. Like Columbia
that'd be some shit, wouldn't it? If they became like an affiliate of, like, I don't know, the fucking Mariners, but you've got a mini green monster over here in left field. And what the hell would you do with that?
I'd put some ads on that motherfucker is what I'd do. It wouldn't be the green monster anymore. It'd be the green ad. All right, so we'll take calls for about another 10 minutes and we're out of here. 803-261.
There was at the old Greenville Braves Stadium. I remember in the latter years he was gone, but right over the left field, it was in deep left center. Up on a pole, there was a Marlboro man, a cowboy up there. I think you got something if you hit him. Right?
Maybe so. All right. Welcome into the show. Good evening.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? What do you got for the show?
Well, I can just say that during my long life, I've always been getting massages.
Okay. Go ahead. What do you got?
And I feel like Deshaun Watson, there's nothing he did that was wrong.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to the show, sir?
You know, I've just been compelled to thrust up in the air and, guide the masseuse's hand to my groin region and, do some other things. I felt like there was nothing wrong with that.
Really?
I don't know shit about fuck.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to the show, sir?
Obviously, it was a joke.
I mean, I'm
It's an
laughing.
excellent call. Definitely top 10.
You fucking redneck, cousin fucking, chicken fucking, hillbilly, goddamn East Tennessee outlaw mud show piece of shit.
Calm down, Jim Cornette. I know it was a bad call, but don't get too upset. Holy shit. We're going to lose. The people that are going to call are going to be like, Jim Cornette yelled at me and called me an inbred. We can't have that, sir. Anyway. Kirk wants to know if we can help him bulk up. I don't know. I mean, I'm training for a powerlifting competition. I drink lots of protein. Jackpot's losing weight. I haven't lost nearly as much as Jackpot, but I don't know. Eat your vegetables. Fuck, I don't know. Whatever. All right, 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905 if you want to join the show. We expect more calls as we get closer to football season. And I imagine our phone lines are going to be hot during football season because it's kind of a weird set where Clemson's transitioning from not having the Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. So it's kind of a new era there. And you've also got a new era at South Carolina with Shane Beamer. So we're going to have a lot of calls this season, especially Georgia fans will be running rampant up until the Clemson game on September the 4th. They'll probably drop off after that.
Yeah, so, I fully expect them to after they get, bitch slapped around a little bit. They tend to go quiet for a while.
Mouth pumped is the word we use here. That's our verb for that. Brock says North Dakota State got knocked out of the playoffs. Yeah. I haven't really been watching a lot of the FCS. I should probably watch more of that, but yeah, good stuff there.
Yeah, they it's I don't know. It's not that easy to get into because I mean, quite frankly, we don't watch much of it because it normally takes place during normal football season, and we're focused on the FBS teams. I mean, we just are. I mean, that's what we look at. So I mean, I thought I would be a lot more all about it too. But one thing I had a problem with it. I mean, I don't think it was showcased enough by ESPN, them and that. And too many of the games started at noon on Saturday. It's too much for me. Nooners are normally regarded as snooze fests. Not enough of them. Not enough of them at prime time. Also, a lot of them got canceled. I mean, they got canceled but there was no tomorrow. But I mean, there was.
I got frustrated. They kept showing Deion Sanders games. Like I've seen enough of his team. Yeah, I
know. Like that team sucked. I mean, so
yeah, wasn't really my cup of tea on that. Jerome wants to know what we think the score will be for the UGA and Clemson game. Have they even put out a line on that yet? I'm going to look and see if there's an early line on that. But I don't know what the over and under is going to be, but I expect it to be somewhat of a close game until fourth quarter. I think Clemson pulls away in the fourth quarter, but we shall see. Let's see here. Clemson. I'm trying to see if they put that line out. Jackpot and I were talking about we thought it would be like 7 points or something, but I don't know.
I think worse than that. I think like something like 38-23 Clemson. I kind of look for a game kind of like the one in 2014 that was kind of close there for a while between the two, and then Georgia kind of pulled away there in the second half. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing something like that happen in this one.
Jackpot. Oddshark.com already has their predicted score up for this game. And I'm going to go ahead and share this with the folks that are here because they'll think that I'm just being a douche. But this is interesting on this front when you look at it from the Oddshark perspective. Let's go ahead and share this with the folks so they can see it here. As you can see right there, they've got it as Clemson picking Clemson to win 41-31. They think Clemson will win and cover the spread. That, of course, is from oddshark.com. I think that's one of the first sites that's out there. So
yeah, I'm good with that.
I 34 points. That's Georgia puts up 34 points, man. That's going to be, and Clemson puts up 41. That's going to be just ping pong balls all over the place. So, yeah, crazy, right?
That's nuts.
I don't know. I wonder if I don't know. They're probably South Carolina's game is probably not even going to remotely be on here, but yeah, interesting that's what they've got right there. So they've got Clemson winning by 10 according to Oddshark. Jerome says, can we all agree that's the most anticipated game? Yeah, I mean, it's a top 5 matchup. The other matchups that are interesting, Alabama plays Miami, Louisville and Auburn, I believe, is one of the other games.
Louisville, Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah, Ole Miss. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that might be interesting. You got a liar and a beach bum in that game, right?
Yeah. Liar and the beach bum. I think the beach bum trumps the liar.
Yeah. All right, 803-470-2905. Final call for calls this evening as we get moving here on the Rob and Kale show. There wasn't really anything else out there this weekend. I mean, the Braves lost. Gamecocks got hammered. Clemson fucking fluke win in their series. And we just keep on pushing. If Georgia doesn't make the playoffs, do you think the fire Kirby chants start? That's one of my notes that I've got here. Begging Megan's supposed to join us the week of the Georgia game, and I'm gonna, instead of him calling and he's gonna have a nice little square like Kale and I there, and we're gonna ask. That's one of the questions I'm gonna ask him. If Georgia doesn't make the playoffs, do they think they'll have the fire Kirby chance? I think when they lose to Clemson, I think people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" The uneducated end of the Georgia fan base. That's an ACC team. We're supposed to win that game by 75 fucking points. I think that's the way the Georgia fans are going to feel after that game. But
yeah, I'm with you there.
All right. Well, we'll be back at it on Wednesday night. We'll tee up whatever it is we've got that's out there. There's a lot of things going to be coming up this week. Keep your ear to the ground because the transfer portal, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be moving around and signing and everything else, I think, within the next couple of weeks. So,
did you see that the Gamecocks picked someone up out of the transfer portal?
Yeah, the defensive back from Washington State.
Yeah, next Stephon Gilmore, what I'm hearing.
They also got a 4-star quarterback. I heard that too.
Yeah, 4-star quarterback commitment from Delaware. Have you seen this young man? He looks rather small-ish to me. Like, small. I don't know if he's hit puberty yet.
I don't know. I mean, I got to look at his stats on him. I don't really follow the Delaware recruiting trail, but hey, if there's talent there, go get it. Brock says if Georgia loses, trailer homes are going to rattle. Yeah. That could be fair. That could definitely be fair. But hey,
well, trailer homes will also rattle if Clemson loses. So
Brock says he's 195 pounds. He's still in high school though. I mean, not everybody comes in at fucking 225 pounds. You know?
He just looks small to me. I don't know. Maybe it was a bad pick. Maybe it was the angle of it wasn't right.
Yeah, you got to get the upshot or whatever way he looks taller. Like they used to do for Andre the Giant. When Andre the Giant would walk to the ring, they'd have the shot looking up at him, following him from behind. Maybe you need that.
I don't feel like they really needed to do anything to make Andre the Giant look taller.
As my son is choking me out. He's got a good sleeper hole to be so little. Anyway, we'll go ahead and I don't have anything else for tonight's show, Jackpot.
I am done.
I'm done too. Join us on Wednesday. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later on.